Hi everyone. So if you're tuning in today, you likely just listened to today's B moment on releasing it. And releasing it is a part of our 3-part series on unanswered prayer. Specifically, we're talking about how you should respond when it appears as though your prayer isn't being answered. Now, I'm underlining the word appears because so often we think that our prayers are falling on deaf ears, and in fact, God is working behind the scenes to work a situation out in ways that you, or even myself, we could have ever imagined. So the first step in dealing with an unanswered prayer is to trust God in His silence. The second thing we said that we would do is rejoice. And you might say, and we refer to the Bible verses in the book of Habakkuk, and I would encourage you to read Habakkuk. It's only 3 chapters. It is amazing. I thought I'd be teaching to you today from John, and I'm teaching from Habakkuk, but in 3 chapters, Habakkuk says a lot. And he says in chapter 3, verse 17, that even when there's no fig on the tree or no grape on the vine, he is going to rejoice. Rejoice why? Because he knows, he's been through this long enough now to know to trust God, because God is working this situation out better than he could have ever imagined. I use this example. You're praying for 1X, you're praying for maybe one area of your life for something to be worked out, and God is looking at the full spectrum. You're praying for 1X, he's delivering 5X. So rejoice. Know that it hasn't happened because he's working something out even greater for you. The third and final point is we want to release it. Too often, I don't know if you're like me, I've gone on my knees, I've said my prayers, I said, you know what, it's in God's hands, I'm done, I'm releasing it, I'm giving it over to him, and not 30 minutes later, here I am stressed about it, here I am preoccupied with it, here I am worried about it again. I had a friend challenge me and say, she said, well, release it. And I said, well, if I've already rejoiced about it, surely I've released it. Not necessarily, as I said in today's message, because releasing it means now that's proof of my trust. That's proof of the fact that I know he's going to handle it. And one measure that I've released it is I'm no longer preoccupied for it. It's not dominating my thoughts. It's not crossing my mind every 20 or 30 minutes. Maybe now a few days pass and it hasn't even crossed my mind. Why? Because I know it's in God's hands. He's working it out, and he's working it out in his time. So in summation, 3 ways we will deal with a prayer that hasn't been answered yet. We're going to trust God in his silence. We're going to rejoice when we see no proof of that prayer being answered. We're still going to rejoice. And finally, we're going to genuinely release it. And we're going to know we released it when we're no longer preoccupied, and instead we have peace over it. I hope you have been able to apply this to your daily prayer life. Love you guys, and can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye now.